So how do you define a good website that's going to match your user's profile? Every website is going to be targeting a different audience. You need to figure out who your ideal user is. You want to figure out for what part of your site, where are they going to be in the buying cycle? There will be some pages on your site where they're pretty close to being a sale. Others will be just the beginning of the buying cycle. You want to develop the right content, the right functionality to deliver what they're looking for on these different buying cycle locations. And do you actually want them to close the sale on the site, or are you looking just for leads, awareness, something a little further up the buying funnel, not quite at the sharp end? How do they get to your site? Somebody who comes to your site from a mobile phone is going to expect a different experience than somebody who comes to your site from a laptop. And how do they interact with your site? Is it straight information? Is there some more robust functionality where things load in the background? And we'll go over some examples of this. A lot of them will be e-commerce based because they're very visible, very easy for us to understand, but they translate very well into other types of sites. Now, for those of you who weren't in the earlier session, if you guys have questions, just raise your hand. Feel free. It makes for a much more interactive presentation with us all. Okay, so some ways we can research what we want our site to do. The ever popular fielding surveys, whether it's a pop-up survey or written survey you send out to your customers, talking to your support staff and see what kind of calls they get complaining about your website, asking for new features. I've given United Airlines lots of really pointed, helpful feedback on their website over the years. Sometimes they listen, sometimes they don't. It might not just be me. You also want to speak with your current customers. What makes them happy? What makes them frustrated with your website? Look at how people are interacting with your website, the traffic patterns going back to Google Analytics. And then look at where people are getting to your website. And looking at search engine referral traffic is very helpful here. As I said, your website's going to have multiple goals. On a page-by-page, section-by-section basis on the site, you want to identify what the primary and secondary goals are and design your site structure around this, design the content around it, and really think about how can I deliver the most important elements to my user that's going to make them the happiest and which meets their stage of the buying cycle.